Yes, kicking us off, we're looking at the River Murray, in particular, Lock 6 near Renmark, 11:30 yesterday in the morning. Someone's done the unthinkable, had a little bit of a blonde moment, and they've driven their houseboat underneath the Paringa Bridge, and it was just simply too big. It got wedged.
Right.
Which I've never seen before. I've never heard of someone getting a houseboat stuck up there, but yeah, it got stuck underneath the bridge and they had to get it pulled out.
So it got under there and then it got wedged under, or
Yeah.
did it just hit the top of it?
So it got wedged underneath. So you know when you're driving, and if someone's driving a truck and it says you can't be this high, it was similar thing. It was pretty much like going through a drive-through.
How'd they get it out?
Well, I'm pretty sure they have to...
It's still there.
They are stuck. They're going to live eternity under that bridge. I'm pretty sure they get pulled out by other boats and maybe they can lift the bridge up a bit.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, they got wedged under there. In other South Australian news, 48-year-old photographer by the name of Lavisa was located in the Snowy Mountains in New South Wales a few days ago. She's a photographer taking photos of wild horses up there, and then she copped a snake bite from a copperhead snake, and she was up there for 4 days by herself with a rolled ankle, dehydrated, just been bitten by a snake. But yeah, 4 days up there. They had to use a helicopter with infrared rays, had dogs, firefighters, park rangers all looking for her, but she is safe now.
And she's okay?
Yep, so she's been medicated, she's been treated, it's all good. But how's one of those...
lucky.
It's just one of those crazy stories, though. 4 days by yourself, you're in ultimate survival mode trying to stay alive.
Yeah, but then with a rolled ankle and a snake bite on top of it. That's tough. That's some Bear Grylls level stuff. One
hell of a story. And lastly, Apple, the technology company, is offering up to $1 million to anyone who can hack into their system. And it's in an effort to pretty much get people to see if they've got any bugs, any problems, if there's anything that need fixing. So if you are a whiz on the computer...
And you need $1 million.
And I say absolute whiz because it'd be pretty hard. That's what they're doing at the moment.
There you go, $1 million.
$1 million. So that's one of the highest offers they're going. But otherwise, there's a few $1,000s here and there for some bugs you can find out. Tom, running into something, falling over, stepping into something. These are the trifectas of embarrassment that us as humans seem to have not perfected to kind of get away from, that these things still happen and they're always so embarrassing. And we saw one of these the other day right here at the front of work.
Yeah.
It was pretty ghastly. So down here, it's Cinema Place, and I guess there's a 100-metre stretch between the start of the alley to the end where you got Palace Nova Cinema there, and on the way you'll see our big fresh windows where we broadcast live.
Yeah, it's kind of just like a long, skinny, narrow walkway.
Exactly right. So we're walking behind this bloke who's carrying a suitcase behind him, and as he gets towards the end of the alleyway, there's a bunch of ice that's dumped into a crate.
Yeah, there's like a big drain there, and there's just a pile of ice.
Huge pile of ice.
Sitting on top of this drain.
Granted, it was our ice, and it was sitting there, and he's walked, keeps on walking, doesn't divert or anything, and then he just steps and almost stacks it in this ice.
He stepped in it on purpose. It looked like he stepped in it on purpose.
Well,
he was walking down the alleyway. There's a big pile of ice, and this is no ice that you... It's not like it's a small pile.
No.
This is a huge pile. It would get almost halfway up your shin. And then he's walking and steps in it, looks down, kind of looks confused, and then keeps walking.
Turns around, gives us a look of, what the hell is this ice doing here? As if you haven't seen it for the last 100 metres down your path. Why'd you step in the ice? And it was like the full Arctic there. It was a huge mound that he's just got his socks wet, and then he turns around, what the hell is going on?
I've never seen someone look so scattered when they've stepped in something that is... It's not like it was not... You couldn't see it.
No. And so I'm baffled. And it made me think, did he do it on purpose? Did he step on that ice on purpose? Maybe he just wanted to cool down on the feet.
We want to go to the text line here. What did you step in?
Oh, man, look at this. Dog. Did you just step in that on purpose?
Get a bit silly with us. I mean, this guy stepped in a mound of ice for whatever reason that he definitely saw coming. I mean, I've heard stories, my dad being a tradie, of just people he's working with, some people being idiots, going around with the bare foot on the side, copping a nail through the foot, stuff like that, or through your thongs if you don't want to wear work boots. You hear horror stories like that.
Yes, like stepping into a ditch and almost stacking it.
Yeah, it happens to heaps of people.
Got this text come through here. Tried to give him a buzz. They wouldn't pick up. A little bit, I don't know, confused about it.
Sure.
But the text reads, I stepped in a manhole that completely swallowed me up. There was lots of things down there, and I went missing for 3 to 4 business days.
Wow, okay. 3 to 4 business days.
Now, I just don't know if they're taking the mickey or if it's true.
Is that why they haven't
if
picked
it's
up?
True,
Are they still stuck?
Going okay. There's no service down there.
It's turned into 50 business days. This was an old text. It's trying to signal help. This one here. I stepped in a puddle not realising there was a pothole and got my entire left foot submerged in water on my way to work. Avoided puddles ever since.
Yeah, you would.
It's not a great one, is it?
Hey, we want to go over to Glenelg North. We've got Cara on the line. G'day, Cara. How are you?
Hi. So do you want the one where I fell 2 metres off the stage into the audience in the middle of a performance, or the one where I fell sideways off the stage, took down the curtain and concussed myself, or the one where I stepped out of bed straight into my elderly cat's poop?
Well, I don't know. I feel like it's a rhetorical question, but I am intrigued by the cat poo one. Cara, tell us what's the funniest one.
I don't know. It's probably the elderly cat's poop, because she was getting old and she thought that anything green was grass, and I had a very plush green mat next to my bed, you know, and she just decided overnight that she was going to lay a very, very, let's say, fluid poop.
Oh, yeah.
And it's one of those ones where you step in it and it goes through your toes.
Yeah.
Cara. Like, what is this? Oh, it's poop.
Cara, to me, it sounds like maybe from now on you should avoid any sort of stages and maybe cats.
Yeah, I'm getting that feeling.
Definitely don't perform in Cats the Musical.
Good on you, Cara. Thanks for getting involved as always. Craig over in Seacombe Heights. Mate, what did you step in?
Oh, yeah, we went on a family holiday up to the Gold Coast.
Yeah, nice.
For a game of barefoot bowls. And I had my youngest lad, he was about 3 going on 4 at the time, just trying to get him out of nappy. And you can probably guess what happened. He's dropped a little nugget out of the bottom of his shorts. The partner at the time, without noticing, has stepped straight in it, squidged up. Squidged up through the toe.
Oh, your partner did. Jeez, there's one thing to step in an animal's poo, right? But you know, your son.
I'm lost for words on that one. Let's wrap things up here. Siobhan over in Walkley Heights. What did you step in?
All right, it was a cold, wet morning, dropping the kids off to school, and I stepped on a dead mouse. Barefoot.
Dead mouse.
Barefoot?
Whoa. Does it send a shock through your body when that happens? Are you leaping off? What's happening?
I can't even remember. I just remember it was gross, and I hopped inside screaming.
Siobhan, because it was kind of cold and wet winter's morning.
Yeah.
Did you have a bit of a slip and a slide on the mouse, or?
Oh.
No, but it was definitely soggy.
Soggy mouse.
It was my toes too. So.
Jeez, I don't know what I'd rather. Out of all these callers, Tom, they're all pretty bad.
Yeah, probably none of them. Hey, we just had another text come through. When I was 2, I jumped into a puddle, not realising it was 1.5 metres deep. Dad had to fish me out.
Hey, father-son fishing trip. Tom, having a bit of a blonde moment in general is always a little bit embarrassing.
Yeah, look, it happens to everyone.
Yeah.
Some people it happens more often than not.
Yes, and it's even more embarrassing if the blonde moment happens on live radio, and this is what happened yesterday. We're talking about a big cheese heist. 22 tons of cheese they have moved.
How many kilos is that?
Are you going to do a quick conversion?
I'll do a quick conversion. So 22,000 kilos. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Hard to listen to.
We couldn't We forgot it was 1,000 kilos in a ton.
Our maths teachers at school are rolling in their graves.
They're still alive.
I bet they wish they weren't after that.
I've already had so many people come up to me and make fun of me
Yeah.
for not realizing that yes, there is 1,000 kilos in a ton. Of course, something we both knew, just had an absolute blonde moment and didn't think about it.
Well, it's one of those funny...
I've relied on Google. There's a problem with technology,
Exactly.
okay?
Yeah, blame tech. It's a funny thing, though, because when we do the show, and there's a lot of stories that will be international stories, and they might be in England or America, whatever, and you're using different conversions, stuff like that. So usually you will hop on a converter for these kind of things. Yet little did we realise that the tons are metric. And, we should have known that straight off the go, but it was a bit of an idiot moment that we've both copped around the office since then.
Yeah, around the office, even at home, I've been copping it.
Yeah.
So here we are, putting ourselves out there, stitching ourselves up. Adelaide, we want you to maybe stitch yourself up as well. Have you had a blonde moment?
Yeah, what is your blonde moment? I mean, for several days, about 2 weeks ago, I think I left my keys inside the house and did the classic shut the door, keys are inside the house.
I did that this morning.
Yeah, it happens. That's a classic one, always. Then you have to sort out where the other key is. I have to get it from my roommate, all that stuff. Absolute blonde moment.
I mean, other blonde moments, when you're waiting for like an Uber or something and you get into the complete wrong car.
Yeah.
You just get into a random person's car. Hello, can I help you? Yeah, just a Norbert, thanks.
I've gone to the back of what I thought was an Uber and ripped open the back door, and there's been someone sitting in the back staring at me, looking like the car's going to be hijacked. Bit more of a serious blonde moment. It's kind of scared someone, but...
I mean, other blonde moments, this is something that I do constantly. If I'm out in the day and I have sunnies on and I put them on top of my head, after 5 minutes, I'll forget they're on top of my head, start scrambling, being like, where are my sunnies? Oh, my God. And it takes somebody to tell me that they're just on my head. Another blonde moment.
22 tons is 22,000 kilos and the sunnies are on your head. Just relax a little bit.
Elijah's texted in saying, my blonde moment is me putting my phone down and forgetting where I put it 30 seconds later. Literally happens all the time.
Huge one.
Yeah, I do that all the time as well.
Blonde moment was going an entire day with my shirt on inside out. Didn't realise until I got home. Can't believe no one told me. That's how it always goes with the blonde moment. You think someone will help you out, but they never do. They like to watch you squirm.
Yep. They snicker in the background. Another text here. Updated my phone password and locked myself out of my phone for 3 hours by entering my old password over and over.
Yeah. You've done that.
Yeah, I have. I wasn't going to bring it up, though.
This one here. My mate started working at the same place as me. Asked how long our lunch hour is, from Jay. You don't want to be doing that on your first week either, having a blonde moment like that.
That's a good one. This text here, using the touchscreen order things at Macca's and hitting pay at counter because I had cash. I got my receipt with a number, waited there for 15 minutes thinking I'd pay when the food came out, and they yelled my number, went up to ask where my food was and told me I hadn't paid and needed to come to the counter to pay before they start preparing my food.
It's not what you want.
Jeez, how long were you at Macca's?
There's a few things to dissect on that one.
Yeah, you should hook up with Jay how long the lunch hour is.
The ultimate
you might
duo.
need it. Yeah.
This one here, thought I lost my keys when I got in the car for work. They were in the ignition, from Jamie.
Yeah. I got into a really bad habit last year of just leaving my keys in the ignition.
Sure.
And then getting out of my car and leaving.
Just going home.
And you just wherever I left my car parked.
Yeah.
I'd leave the car in the ignition and lock it from the outside by holding the handle up and shutting the door. And I'd be like, oh no, I've locked my keys in the car. I think I did it twice in 1 week.
Twice in 1 week?
Yeah.
That's a record blonde moment.
Honestly, that was this year.
And it'll happen again.
Callum, it's that time of the year where people are starting to think about Christmas shopping.
Yep.
Right? And if you're someone like me, and I would say I'm not the best gift giver. Like, they're fine gifts. It's just the obvious stuff, alcohol, skincare.
Yeah, it's hard to go.
Vouchers.
Exactly. Vouchers are a great one. Look, who's really going so obscure? When it comes to the late rush, you just want the most generic things.
Yeah. Or the person tells me exactly what they want.
Easy.
And I'll get it for them, and it's just not a huge surprise, which is half the fun of opening presents, is not knowing what it's going to be. So when I do go out on a limb, getting someone a present that I don't know whether they're going to like it or not, I always remember one thing. I never forget the gift receipt.
No, always pack that receipt. They might want to return it. I mean, I feel like clothes is a huge one. You can't assume someone's taste unless they've outright said, I want that cashmere sweater, that one right there in the shop. Otherwise, you're going on a tightrope of a walk when it comes to giving a present.
Yeah, it could be just any sort of knick-knack, anything. It doesn't matter. If I'm going out on a limb, I'll always get the gift receipt. And you always have the same conversation with people when you give them the gift. You're like, hey, there's a gift receipt in there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they always say, it's all good.
I won't need it.
I'm not going to need it.
No.
And I was watching this skit show on Netflix, I Think You Should Leave, which if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's very funny. But they have a skit just about this.
If you love it as much as you say you do, and as much as you have been saying, then it shouldn't be a problem if I take the receipt back.
So that's the thing, right?
Yeah,
Everyone always says, no, I won't need the receipt, but they never give you the receipt back. And it makes you think, are they going behind my back and using the gift receipt?
Exactly, because you're not really... And you're not going to pry with a question and say, are you using the gift? Show me you using the saucepan I got you.
Yeah.
Right? You know,
I'm
you're
not going to be like, hey, how are those pants going? I haven't seen you wear them.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to sound like an absolute Fruit Loop if you start questioning.
Where are they?
NCIS interrogating them with a bright light. Where are the denim shorts I got you last Christmas? Haven't seen them once. So you don't want to do that.
I want to go to the phones here. Has anyone out there listening actually used a gift receipt?
Yeah, have you got a present that was just so crap that you thought, yep, I am actually going to use this receipt, and took it to the shops the next week, maybe exchanged it, maybe you just got your money back.
Maybe it wasn't even the right size. You did like it, but you wanted to. You went there to exchange it. They didn't have your size, and you had to get something else. Has anyone used a gift receipt? Have you ever used one?
So I've used it for an exchange. I've never gone the full mile and got my money back. I've only gone halfway. I haven't entered enemy territory. I think some places let you do, but I've done exchanges where I've not liked a shirt and I've got a different color or something.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever used a gift receipt.
Really, ever?
Mainly because I am just too lazy, and I'll just be like, well, it'll come in handy at some point.
Well, I didn't pay for it.
I can't be bothered going to the shop and exchanging it for something else. So I've never used a gift receipt, but I got to say, I'm probably not adverse to the idea of using one.
Do you reckon someone's used one of your gift receipts?
Most likely.
That's not a thought I want to bear.
Hey, right now, we're going to be going over to Trot Park. We got Elijah on the line. G'day, Elijah. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, boys. Yourself?
Very good.
Good, mate. Now, we've heard you've used multiple gift receipts for exchanges.
Yeah, look, my ex's family were notorious for giving me presents at Christmas time that I never wanted or would use, so I'd be pretty much straight down there at Boxing Day sales, exchanging them or returning them if there was a receipt and I could do that.
Right, Elijah, what's the worst gift you've got that you've gone for a return on?
Well, probably a shirt that was too small.
Yeah, they didn't assess the size properly.
Elijah, out of all like Christmas and birthdays, how often do you think you are exchanging one of your presents?
When I was with my ex, probably every Christmas I was going down to the shop.
Christmas? Jeez, it's a regular thing. They know you well at Target by name.
Good stuff, Elijah. Thanks for getting on board. We got Tia in Anglevale. Tia, have you used gift receipts before?
I have, but only a couple of times.
Right. What did you get, and what did you exchange it for?
So the only time I've done this was for my 21st, because I had a big party and a lot of people came who honestly didn't know me that well, and they kind of got me a few dud gifts. So I returned about 3 of them because they weren't things I liked.
What's a dud gift? Is this clothing or, I don't know, a bit of jewellery? What's the go?
So it's a mix. I just got a few pairs of shoes that I really didn't like, and they also didn't fit me very well. And then I got some makeup as well, which was like pretty cheap and nasty and not really the colours I wear. So I was like, I'm just going to get something I like instead.
Yeah, fair enough. Once again, it is the thing with clothes, makeup, stuff like that. Really dicey game to get that as a gift for someone you don't know.
Tia, out of curiosity, did you tell your friends that you were exchanging, or have you ever told them that you did exchange those gifts?
I mean, they weren't super close friends, so I just didn't say anything. And no one's asked me, so no one's not been like, oh, where are the shoes that you're wearing?
Yeah.
So I'm like, we don't need to talk about this.
Imagine them trying to pry on the makeup. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, the blush
that
looks a
shade
little off.
looks a bit different to what we got. Good on you, Tia. Thanks for getting involved.
Hey, Ash and Freeling, tell us, wrap us up. Have you exchanged a gift? Do you use a receipt?
Yeah, when I was about 8 years old, I was given a book of Australia's former prime ministers, which, you know, as an 8-year-old kid, that's what you would love to get, you know. Yeah, it just happened to have the receipt in there. So my mum took it back and we went to the movies. But seriously, who buys an 8-year-old kid a book of prime ministers? Like,
I'm glad your mum was on your side. You know, at least your mum had the sense to be, you know, this does look pretty boring for an 8-year-old.
Ash, did you read any of it?
No, not at all. Who cares? I was 8 years old, you know. Would have preferred a video game or friggin' anything. You've given me a bag of lollies, you know. Like, I just couldn't believe it. And even now I wouldn't read it. Like, seriously.
Aussie politics can be pretty dry as an adult. Imagine someone under the age of 10.
Oh, yeah, I still remember the front page having the smack photo of John Howard on there. I was like, yeah, yawn.
It comes with a poster for your bedroom. John Howard.
Yeah, you get to do a bit of fangirling, you know. Yeah, how good.
Ash, out of curiosity, when you exchanged this gift, did you get the money back or did you get a different book?
No, we got the money back went and blew it at the movies. So
yeah, good stuff.
Just read this article where it turns out it might be really easy to get an A if you have to write a movie review at school or university.
Yeah, but it seems like this person has found a bit of a loophole, something to really slip through the cracks and do what every student imagines of doing and not putting in any effort.
Yeah, after just writing a 19-word essay on the movie Fight Club, this person over in America received an A from their teacher and then tweeted about receiving an A and almost got their teacher sacked.
Yeah. There was a lot of bragging rights on this one. Obviously, it's such an absurd situation that they felt like, hey, I have to post this all over the internet and show everyone because it's pretty crazy what they did.
Yeah, their essay was this.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
That was the whole essay.
So
they got 100 out of 100.
That's all they said in that essay. They just said, look, I'm not talking about it. Why would I do a whole essay giving an analytical description or the motifs or anything about this movie because you're not meant to talk about Fight Club, so there you go, and copped an A for it.
Yeah, so their teacher came out saying, I wouldn't try this with other people, with other teachers. They might not have my sense of humour.
But I'm a cool, relaxed teacher, so don't worry about it.
He almost got sacked because of the tweet, and then he said to the girl when they came back for the next term that posted it and submitted this review, said, you know what? If that's the way I went out, I'm happy.
Yeah, imagine being asked back by the school to do a talk about, you know, your academia and just say, hey, look, I didn't really put in much effort. Just rip off a quote from the movie. See how you go.
Well, I thought let's give this a go. Let's say a quote of a movie, see if we can guess it and see if that would give us full marks on an essay.
All right, I got this one here. Mrs. Robertson, you're trying to seduce me, aren't you? Might work if you have a teacher named Mrs. Robinson doing your essay. Point the finger at them. Put a little bit of pressure on that Mrs. Robinson teacher. And if it goes a bit pear-shaped, just say, well, that's a quote from the movie.
Yeah. Mrs. Robinson, is that the name of the movie?
No, it's The Graduate.
The Graduate?
The Graduate.
Oh, okay, there you go. This is the one I would use. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Is it Taxi Driver?
No.
What is it?
Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry, there you go.
That's what I'd be asking the teacher.
Once again,
give me the full marks.
Point the finger at them.